It's a massive matchup in the Western Conference this Sunday as the Wolves take on the Denver Nuggets. Tip-off is just after 2:30 p.m. Catch every shot, every dunk, and every jaw-dropping play all season on the Timberwolves iHeartRadio channel.
Here's a text message that came in to the Bradshaw and Brown KFAN text line. It says, at some point, can we get Deuce and PA versus Muss and Fallness for a kid version of password? Where the passwords can only be 3-letter words.
The cellar dwellers.
Can you imagine how long that would be?
Yeah, that could be fun.
90 minutes minimum.
Oh, man. But 3-letter words, it might go 70 minutes. We might be able to carve a couple.
If we did it during the noon to 3 hour, you'd get the whole day off.
The password is dog.
All right, we ready to go?
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, it's Common and Nordo lead Lil B and Deuce 45-20. As always, you can watch the second half of Program Password at KFAN.com/watch. We're playing to 80. Common and Deuce, you two need to take a look at the iPad, please. The password is simple. All right, Deuce, you're down 25. It's time to get going right now. You've got the option. You want to go first or second?
Second.
All right, Common and Nordo for 10.
Easy.
Money.
Deuce and Lil B for 9.
Practical.
Simple.
Yeah. Sorry. There was a lack of thought there.
Yeah.
It's like easy
You
money.
just jumped down. Well, that was good. I like easy money. It ain't easy being easy, but we're easy.
You see, Dad, typically after the first word, if it's not just like a slam dunk, if you know that going in, you want to go second. That's typically the strategy I employ.
Okay, Mr. 1 and 6.
Does this remind you of when I was giving you putting advice that one day on the golf course?
That's very similar to that. That's exactly right.
45-29, Common and Nordo with the lead. Nordo and Lil B. Deuce, have you ever had this many points, by the way? This is pretty good for you.
I was in a dogfight one time in a game, us two versus Rosie and someone. We had like 60, 70 points or something.
Nordo and Lil B, take a look at the iPad. The password is card. All right, Lil B, you can make this a one-possession game. You're down 16 points. What do you want to do? You want to go first or second?
Second.
All right, Nordo and Common for 10.
Hallmark.
Card.
Damn it, Nordo.
Whoa.
That was good.
Thank you.
The best part is I can't get flamed for that one.
No.
I can't get, Lil B can't get bitter.
Not now.
Want to bet?
There's another word to go.
Yeah, I just wouldn't test that particular electrical fence.
Common and Nordo, you're 25 points away from a win. You're up 55-29. Common and Deuce, take a look at the iPad, please. The password is dessert. Flip that over there, Deuce. You're about to show your teammate the word. Deuce, down 26 points. You have the option. You want to go first or second?
Second.
All right, Common and Nordo for 10.
Cake.
Wedding.
Deuce and Lil B for 9.
Entree.
Dessert. Nice clue. Good. Okay.
We're getting there.
We are.
I've lost connection, and I apologize for that.
But that, cake, there was a million things I could have, I didn't, pie, cake, chocolate.
Entree was a good follow-up.
Yeah, entree was really good.
That was a good follow.
Deuce is playing well.
Lil B, was it a good follow-up?
If you said
that was a great
entree
follow-up.
right away, do you think?
No.
See, that's
I wouldn't have gotten
so it wasn't
dessert.
second. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. You guys look at the iPad so you don't hear the words. I was hoping Deuce read it as desert instead of dessert. I was so hoping for that to happen. Sahara. All right, it's 55-38. Lil B and Deuce are hanging around. Nordo and Lil B, take a look at the iPad. The password is shape. Well, B, you can make this interesting here. You can make it a one-possession game. You're down 17. Do you want to go first or second?
I'm going to try first.
All right, Lil B and Deuce for 10.
Outline.
Trace.
Nordo and Common for 9.
Mold.
Lil B and Deuce for 8.
Figure.
Stencil.
Nordo and Common for 7.
Fitness.
Health.
No,
Lil B,
I know that's not
it's
it.
all on me. Don't worry about
Lil
it.
B and Deuce for 6.
In.
Style.
Nordo and Common for 5.
In
Shape.
There we go.
That was a hard word. That was a hard word.
I was just going to start naming.
I was just saying, I was just waiting for someone to say a shape.
Square.
Like triangle. Yeah.
Hexagon.
Rhombus.
Ooh, rhombus.
Rhombus would have been good.
Defensive back. I think he's like ranked 2 on most draft boards. Hey-oh! Sorry.
But
All right, Common and
Do you guys
Nordo.
understand what they're saying to each other?
I don't. I didn't
Okay.
get that one.
Kind of Spanish.
Common and Nordo, you're 20 points away from a win. You have 60. Lil B and Deuce have 38. Common and Deuce, take a look at the iPad. The password is deal. All right, Deuce. You're down double deuces here, 22. You have the option. You want to go first or second?
second.
All right, Common and Nordo for 10.
Transaction.
Purchase.
Deuce and Lil B for 9.
Agreed.
I don't know.
Common and Nordo for 8.
Trade.
Deal.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, 30-point lead for Common and Nordo. It is 68-38. Nordo and Lil B. Take a look at the iPad. The password is account. All right, Lil B, you were complaining last week about how you were up and the other team got the option over and over and over again. Well, now you're in that situation. You're down 30.
Thanks for keeping score.
You have the option. You want to go first or second?
First,
All right, Lil B and Deuce for 10.
checking.
Account.
There you go.
You're complaining last week.
If it falls below 65,000, that's when you start to worry.
All of the.
I can't even.
How do you spell dad, Deuce?
ATM.
Correct.
It's a 20-point game. Deuce and Lil B, you're in this thing.
Come on, let's get one more.
It is
Deuce.
68-48. Common and Deuce. iPad, please. The password is size. Deuce, flip that over, please. You can make this a one-possession game because you're down 20. You can get it to 10. What do you want to do? You want to go first or second? Five seconds.
Second.
Common and Nordo for 10.
Super.
Bowl.
Deuce and Lil B for 9.
Large.
Big.
Common and Nordo for 8.
Shoe.
Size.
I had it after I said the wrong one. Damn it.
It'll happen.
All right, here's where we're at. Common and Nordo, you're at 76 points. So any correct answer, you win.
Did you just look at me and you're like, that guy would get supersized? I haven't eaten lunch yet.
That's
I'm
not what I had in mind.
quite hungry. That's fine.
Lil B and Deuce, you're at 48, so you need to
Okay.
reel off 32 points here,
Okay.
basically, in a row to win
Easy.
this game.
Okay.
Light work.
Nordo and Lil B. You can take a look at the iPad. The password is tease. Lil B, you're going to have the option the rest of the way. What's the math here? 28? Yeah, I think you're down 28 points. You got the option. What do you want to do, first or second?
First.
All right, Lil B and Deuce for 10.
Rip.
Insult.
Nordo and Common for 9 and the win.
Bully.
Lil B and Deuce for 8.
Insult.
Demean.
Nordo and Common for 7 and the win.
Heckle.
Criticize. That's not the right word.
Lil B and Deuce for 6.
Laugh.
Chortle.
What?
Chortle.
I don't even.
That's a boomer term.
Okay.
I'm lost. I live with a boomer.
Chortle's a good word.
Nordo and Common for 5 and the win.
Poke.
Chide. Why would it wouldn't be chide?
Lil B
I
and
do.
Deuce for 4.
Tickle.
Rib.
Is it prod? Is it prod?
Tease.
Of course.
That's a toughie.
Making it way
Bully was too
hard.
heavy. I was trying
Yeah,
to figure
but
like
still.
lighthearted. I don't know.
You're making fun of
What about
somebody,
if-
but in a lighthearted way.
If I had found a way like a preview, would that have gotten you there?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
If we had a Power Trip member here, we
'Cause you're
would
elite.
have gotten that triggered. You said strip?
You're an elite teaser.
Yeah.
Damn it. Tada, that's a good one. Why didn't I think of that?
This is a
Because
family
you're not,
show.
yeah, you're a mother.
This is
That's
family
why.
show. Come on.
We keep it PG
She's a mother.
here.
Still 76-48.
Warm
Any correct answer by Common and Nordo, and they win. Common and Deuce. Take a look at the iPad. The password is crown. All right, Deuce, still down 28. Still need to go on a run here. You have the option. You want to go first or second?
First.
Deuce and Lil B for 10.
Tiara.
Crown. Good one.
Unbelievable.
Nice. Good clue.
Into the back end of the list here, aren't we?
We ain't going anywhere.
What's the score now?
Yes.
It's just an 18-point game. It's 76-58. Deuce and Lil B, they're 22 points from a win.
Forced parody. That's fine.
Nordo and Lil B, take a look at the iPad. The password is made. Nordo, you're calling all these layups, but I did know Deuce was playing today, so I had to make the list accordingly.
I get it.
Lil B, down 18. You can make this very interesting here. You have the option. You want to go first or second?
First.
All right, Lil B and Deuce for 10.
Housekeeper.
Made.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
It's getting
Objects in the mirror.
interesting.
Yeah, objects in the mirror.
They could just ride it out with you guys not even getting a chance at it. It's 76-68. Lil B and Deuce, you're 12 away from a win. Still Common and Nordo. Any correct answer, you are victorious. Common and Deuce, take a look at the iPad. The password is fountain. All right, Deuce, down 8. You can actually take the lead here. You have the option. You want to go first or second? 5 seconds.
Second.
All right, Common and Nordo for 10 and the win.
Drinking.
Fountain?
They win.
Dang it.
I didn't know if that would work.
Maybe I should get a handicap when I play. 10, 12, 13, 14 points.
Wow.
Maybe 20.
That's
Yeah, but that
5 in a
wasn't.
row.
Okay.
I think
Nardo.
we've had
5 straight.
Fountain
Yeah, congratulations.
before, and Fountains, I think it's a hard one.
Drinking, I was thinking about that, but it was too variable. I don't know.
It's a variable one. That's a variable.
But at the same time,
I'm sticking up for you because you're my son.
this
5 in a row.
And I think
I got 5 in a row.
5 in a row.
5.
Tied with Meat Sauce for longest
in a row.
current winning streak. And you're back to 500.
Thanks for,
Nardo.
9-9.
thanks for coming in.
Thanks for letting
Appreciate
me hang out. This was awesome.
Deuce, thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
Now,
thank you for having me.
Go to my office and get back to work because you're gold bricking right now. They expect you to do some work. So
I'll be back in the Excel spreadsheets. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I
for
get that.
about 3-4 more hours. You don't get that. You don't know anything about spreadsheets.
I know about spread swing.
Yeah. I think I was second this year in spread swing.
We're
I
happy.
did-
Second, and kissing your sister and all that kind of
Wow.
thing.
Wow.
That's what they say.
Second for Deuce is a win.
Second at the
Yeah,
section cross country and track meets. That got me to state.
Yeah, that did.
Now,
Indeed.
we didn't bring home much hardware after that, but
13th out of 16, not very good. But
Yeah.
I was there for it.
You were?
When I had to go all the way there for a 13th place finish.
Yeah.
If I would have known it was 13th,
Proud
I'd have
papa.
stayed home,
You've
That
got to
was-
be
when-
kidding
when
me.
we had track at St. Michael Albertville, you said, don't bother. And
Yeah.
we were 13th again, so.
Lil B, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate that. We'll take a break. We'll come
Yeah,
back
baby.
with a little dis, dat, lat. That's program password for another Friday here on the Fan.
Want to chime in on what's happening with your favorite KFAN program? Well, make your voice heard on the Brad, Sean, Brian text line. Let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That's 64686. Standard message and data rates apply.
Couple 13-14 pastime common. He is Canna B. We are here until 3. No legendary one today. Big ticket JG will be in next. The Wild win last night. A couple of empty netters. They win 5-2. Teneby, do you, other than, hey, you got to win, nice way to start after the Olympic break, do you put any more into that win, or is it just, hey, if the two teams play, they're pretty evenly matched, or do you put more into it than it was just a single win to get 2 points?
I mean, it's the best team in the NHL, and they have been all season long, so I think you put a little more stock into it than just, a random game against the Vancouver Canucks or something like that. If these two teams did meet in the playoffs, I mean, to me, the entertainment factor, Colorado Avalanche, because of their skill and their speed, play an entertaining brand of hockey. And the Wild do too, which is something we really haven't been able to say about this team for most of its history. The Quinn Hughes factor, Matt Boldy, he was great last night. I know the biggest question for me was going to be how some of these guys, on one instance, you had players that had missed 3 weeks now. So you got rust factor.
Right.
And then on the other hand, you have guys like Boldy and Faber and Quinn Hughes. And then for Colorado, you got the McKinnons and McCarrs and Toes/Taves. How are they going to be after, playing their hearts out and exhausted, and some of them had been drinking over a couple days stretch. And to me, I thought the hockey was really good for the first game back. So it didn't even look like any of these guys had missed a beat. But for the Wild, they played great. I mean, they're on every level as the Colorado Avalanche. They play Colorado in a series. Not saying I'm guaranteeing a win, but they can be competitive in a series against Colorado, and they can push them, if not win the series.
Go back to going into the season before they dropped the first puck to where they are now. Is there one or two surprises, be it minor or major? Like you said, I didn't see this guy playing that well, or even
For the Wild?
or a disappointing one. You're saying I expected more out of him. Is there anything?
Well, I mean, clearly, Quinn Hughes wasn't on the team at the time, and you didn't know they were going to make that blockbuster, and he's a complete game changer for this team. You get on a power play, and he's a stud. They always had a couple guys on the power play, but now it's a mostly complete power play. He makes everybody better. I talked about it on KFAN Wild Weekly just 2 days ago with Kevin Fallness. There was a story in the Star Tribune just a couple days ago as they were getting back up to ramp up for action that was showing the points per game for every player on the team and how much it's increased since Quinn Hughes has been acquired. there's only 2 guys on the team that haven't improved their points per game. Everyone else, their points per game has gone up since the Quinn Hughes trade, including a couple that have gone up, like Brock Faber, has gone up from like 0.39 to 0.8, right? Just being his partner. So Quinn Hughes has had a ripple effect on everyone on the entire roster, because he plays.
I know the story you're referring to, and I didn't read it, and I'll tell you why. Because I thought it was obvious without even having stats, but the stats obviously.
Well, still, I mean,
no, I know what you're saying, but I thought to myself, yeah, a guy that good is obviously going to make the team better. But then when it's broken down into numbers like you did, it's even more impressive.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell with the eye test, and like, I could have told you Brock Faber has increased his offense because he's now playing with Quinn Hughes every shift, and he's jumping up in the play more, and but to see it happen like basically the entire team, right? There's only 2 guys, and then even the 2 guys that haven't improved, it's like a slight dip. It's still a little alarming. Before Quinn Hughes was acquired, this is what it said in the Star Tribune, the Wild were 27th in the NHL in points from defensemen. Since Quinn Hughes has been acquired, their defensemen are first in the NHL in points. I mean, that's just a drastic difference. And I know there's going to be some out there like, well, he's not great defensively, blah, 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 blah. They've improved offensively so much, it doesn't matter if they're slightly worse defensively. And he's still fine defensively. Boldy was really, really good last night. He was the best player on the ice. On a sheet of ice that had Quinn Hughes, McKinnon, Makar, Kirill Kaprizov. Boldy was brilliant last night. I know he had empty net help with the points, but still 2 goals, 2 assists, and he's just dynamic with the puck on his stick.
Could you make a case that he's playing so well that you're a little surprised by that? We knew he was good, right? Or is this like, no, this is kind of what I expected from him? Or do you go, this is even better? Because it seems like, at least, this is somebody who doesn't, I'm not paying as close attention to the Wild as I once did. It seems like he's playing at another level from the things I read and hear. Is that? I
would say, did I think he could rise to being a star in the league? Yes. Did I think in late February I would ever consider whether he's better than Kirill Kaprizov? No, but I mean, you could have that conversation right now.
And why is it? Is Kaprizov? Is it because Boldy's playing so well, or is Kaprizov not playing as well as Kaprizov?
Kaprizov's been fine.
He's having a good year, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's not. Boldy's had more big moments, right? Overtime type stuff, big goals in the third period. Kaprizov's probably a better power play type of guy where you're a little bit more stationary. But Boldy's skating is really, really good. He's super creative. He can shoot, but he's also good defensively. He's killing penalties for you more this year. So they have 3 superstars on this roster. And we went the entire existence of this franchise looking for 1. And who knows? They might go get a 4th one by the trade deadline.
This text message on the Bradshaw and Brian KFAN text line says, I think Trennan has vastly improved his game from last year to this year. Leads the league in hits, and it shows. You agree?
Well, I mean, the hits sometimes hits can be an overrated stat because every different arena can have a subjective view as to what's a hit and what's not a hit. Like Cal Clutterbuck always led the league in hits when he was here. And it's not like, well, if you're hitting a guy like 3 seconds after he passes the puck, is it really that significant? Right. I want the hits that like force turnovers. But has Trenyan looked like a completely different player than last year? Yes, and it's all due to his skating. Last year he looked slow. He couldn't even get in on the forecheck to make those hits because he was too slow to get there. And now he's more in on the forecheck. He's forcing turnovers. He's actually a threat on the rush, which he never was last year. So I don't know what he did in the offseason, whether he improved his fitness. Maybe he did that diet you've been pushing, and then weight loss. Maybe he just, bigger and stronger. I don't know what he did, but clearly his skating has improved a lot, which has had an impact on his entire game.
Ed in St. Paul text this question, says, Common, please ask 10 about reports that Stamkos, did I say it? Would be willing to would be willing to waive his no trade clause for the Wild, and also Minnesota's a favorite for a Trocheck.
Vincent Trocheck.
From the Rangers. What do you think of those?
Yeah, both of these guys were brought up in Michael Russo and Joe Smith's story today on The Athletic. If you go to theathletic.com. So I read that story. Trocheck's been connected to this team for a while. And even I think Russo wrote in there, like, that's who they have their eye on the most. And we've talked about him, that he fills kind of the center void. Phenomenal in the face-off circle, and he's a right shot. So he's a right-handed face-off guy, which we don't, Ryan Hartman can do it, but he's not doing it at the level of Trocheck. And that's been a big issue with the penalty kill over the years in the face-offs is every power play starts with a face-off in the offensive zone. So when you lose that draw, they're already set up shop in your own zone. He was a part of that Team USA penalty kill that did not give up a power play goal the entire Olympics. And he can contribute offensively a little bit. He can even play a role on your power play. So I think Trocheck would be a phenomenal fit here. Stamkos is interesting because if you get Stamkos, you're probably not going to be able to upgrade the center position. So you're just going to have to ride with Eriksson Ek, Urov, Ryan Hartman's going to have to play center for you, and Nico Sturm. And you're just going to have to roll with those four. And if one of them gets hurt, you don't have a lot of depth there. I guess in a pinch, Stamkos probably could play center. I guess maybe Matt Boldy could play center in a pinch as well. But Stamkos is a guy that we have been missing that type of player forever with the Wild, because the Wild historically and even currently have always just had like left-handed star players. So when you get on the power play, sometimes that can limit you to being on one side of the ice because you don't have that one-timer option. Other than Alexander Ovechkin, Stamkos might be the best right-handed one-timer on the power play in the NHL. Now he's getting up there in age a little bit, but we saw him. He scored. I think he scored an overtime goal against the Wild back at Gran Casino Arena earlier in the year. He can still play. He can still contribute. He's still offensive-minded, and like I said, he'd be phenomenal. I mean, you look at a power play with Kaprizov, Boldy, Eriksson Ek, Quinn Hughes up top, and then now a right-handed shot that can shoot one-timers over there while you're working the puck on the left side. I like Zuccarello, but he doesn't give you a one-time option over there. So, would I like Stamkos? Sure. You would just have to. You would still have be low on the center depth, and that could end up hurting you once you get into the playoffs.
Christian Rosemont says, asking as a sports fan but casual hockey guy, is Quinn Hughes' influence on the Wild equivalent to Randy Moss on the Vikings? It's pretty good. I mean, Moss's influence on the Vikings can't be overstated. And I guess, the Vikings
were like a playoff team until they drafted Randy Moss. Yeah. Didn't even need Randy because they had Chris Carter and Jake Reed. And he elevated them to being big game contenders, right? I guess you could say this thing about the Wild's D was a solid D core before Quinn Hughes.
Right.
And he's elevated them to another level. And we always thought, hey, we need more offense. We assumed it would have to be from a center or another top six wing. Even just adding an offensive defenseman like Quinn Hughes has had a ripple effect on the entire team.
Could we ask him to change his jersey number to 84?
If he wants to.
If he's as effective, why not?
As long as he signs a contract extension, I would let him do whatever he wants.
Well, that's another question that came. There's several hockey questions, so we'll continue on that thread and a couple other things I want to get to in the last segment. We call it the Victory Formation segment. That's next here on a Phone It In Friday on the Fan.
It's a massive matchup in the Western Conference this Sunday as the Wolves take on the Denver Nuggets. Tip-off is just after 2:30 p.m. Catch every shot, every dunk, and every jaw-dropping play all season on the Timberwolves iHeartRadio channel.
Couple 13-14 past on Common He's Tennessee here until 3. Big Ticket JG are next. We're talking a little Wild here with, I think, the foremost Wild expert. Certainly on this show, anyway. That would be Tennessee. A text message came in here that says, this is a little negative. By way overpaying for Kaprizov, now the Wild won't be able to afford Hughes and Boldy. Well, I'll weigh in on what I think, and then you tell me, because you probably know this better than me. But to me, it's almost like when you talked about Stamkos being a little long in the tooth, and then, overpaying Kaprizov, if you believe that. I have to admit, like for right now, because I'm not as invested in the Wild, maybe long term, I just like that. I think we're all in for this year. We're trying to win a Stanley Cup right now. So if we got to go get Stamkos, even if he's older and he's only for 1 year or whatever, or if we added Hughes and we're going to have trouble signing, well, I understand that maybe, like I say, you can weigh in on it. For me personally, I'll worry about that later. I want to play this. This is for the first time I've ever felt that the Wild has had a legitimate chance to win a cup. Right?
I agree, but I don't know if I like the phrase "all in" because that makes it seem like, hey, it's this year or nothing, right? And I don't think we are in that spot. I think they can be contenders this year. They could win it this year, but 2027, 2028, 2029, as long as Quinn Hughes is here, Kaprizov's in his prime, Boldy's emerging and turning into a superstar, Brock Faber's in his prime. It's not like, the only ones you have to worry about maybe are like Spurgeon and Brodin maybe dropping off at some point with their ages. But otherwise, I mean, you have a lot of guys that are in a spot here where you have a window of a couple years.
Right.
So I'm not all about, hey, let's just give up everything for this year and just forget about the next couple of years. Because I think you have a window here that you could win one.
But I mean,
as of, if the Kaprizov contract, is he overpaid? Yes. But do we even have Quinn Hughes here? And are we even talking about that if Kaprizov doesn't sign that extension and we're not going to have him here in the future? Correct? I mean, you wouldn't even have a chance to keep Quinn Hughes here anyway. I'd like to think.
And somebody else just said Boldy is signed through 2030. Is he already signed?
Yeah, he's under extension for a while and on a very favorable contract. Okay. Eriksson Ek's on a very favorable contract.
Very favorable, did you say?
Favorable. That Faber is on a favorable contract. Okay. Matt Boldy's locked up for a while and is going to out-earn his contract over the course of that time. Quinn Hughes, I don't know what he wants. I still think we're probably just going to get him on a contract extension for 3 years, and he's going to match up with his brother Jack. Now, and as long as we maybe win a cup during that stretch, or he thinks we can win a cup, maybe we can keep him here and bring Jack here. But probably going to have like a 3-year prove-it window to him.
What number is Hughes?
I probably should know this, but I'm not great with my numbers.
Is it 22?
No, that's Yurov.
I'll tell you why I ask.
43.
Here's why I ask. Because we talked about should he change to 84 to match Moss because of the comparison. How about we give him a single-digit number? Because then he looks so much faster.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, think how quick he would look.
He's already quick with 43.
But imagine if you put like 4 on him or 1, 2. I mean, think of how.
I always love that.
How fast he would look. So that might be the way to go. And here's one that says, the Rubo doesn't think the Wild has the cap to re-sign. Quinn's obviously not done the research of the contracts coming off the books. The Wild can afford all 3 of them for the next 4+ years. I don't know. He could be right. I tell you what, I can't balance a checkbook and I can't follow salary caps. And that's why they have these caponomics guys,
And the cap is supposed to go up. Now, that's never guaranteed to happen, but the cap is expected to go up, which is why I think they gave Kaprizov $17 million in the first place, because they were under the assumption we're going to have this space by the time his contract kicks in.
So, and again, I said this, and
but even like Tarasenko's making 4.7 this year. Like that's coming off after this year. Technically, I think Zuccarello is also a free agent. I'd like him to. I can see him re-signing for cheap, but he's making $4 million. If Volstead ever becomes the goalie you want him to be, you can get out of Gustafson's contract. So, and heck, at this point, if you could find a taker for Spurgeon or Brodin, if you're really up against the cap, Spurgeon's making 7.5, Brodin's making 6. You might be able to. You can make it work if you want to make it work.
Yeah. And, the money part of this is part of what I meant by I'm all in. I didn't mean just like this year and then it's over.
Yeah.
But I just meant if the team is as good, and if you think if we get Stamkos, that or whatever name that is, but let's just go with the Stamkos guy. If we get him, that solves it, but that takes us even to another level, then I'd be willing to do that. And then you deal with the after effects at the end of the season. Okay, we've got him. We might not be able to afford him now, or he wants to go elsewhere.
Sure.
This season, it's like
I'm fine getting a rental if that's your point.
Yes, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I don't mind. I don't mind getting a rental.
The spot they're in is because they gave up so many assets for Quinn Hughes and they gave up so many assets for David Juracek. The cupboard's a little bare now. And, do you go out and get a Stamkos and risk giving up whatever little assets you have left when you want to save everything you can in case another big fish comes out there? Right? Like, let's say Austin Matthews became available at some point in the next year. Heck, let's say Jack Hughes became available. You don't want to get rid of all the remaining assets you have now so that you can't take that big swing in the future. So that's going to be the line that Bill Guerin's going to have to toe here. Of, do you give up assets to try to improve this year's team, but that might inhibit you of making the big swing, getting another big swing in the next year or two?
Hughes wears 43. NASCAR racer Dick Petty was 43. Maybe that's why he looks so fast, because Richard Petty was very fast. Here's what is List Radio tend to be?
It's lazy radio.
Here's what I have for you. John Breach always has some really good list radio stuff. He writes for CBS Sports, NFL guy. Here's what the headline of the story is: ranking all 32 NFL coaches from 2025 based on their leaked out grade in the National Football League Players Association report cards.
Ooh.
So these are the players ranking all of the coaches. Well, Wilbur, this sounds like fun. Tennessee, last year there were a total of 6 coaches who earned an A+. This year, it's just 2. What 2 coaches do you think NFL Players Association, by vote, ranked as the A+ coaches? There are 2 of them.
2 that are A+ coaches?
The only ones that have got an A+ ranking.
I mean, I'd like to think Andy Reid is still in there, even though they had
He wasn't. Andy Reid was not there.
Vrabel.
Nope. He likes to wear tight shirts. Yes, he wears the tight shirts on the sideline so he works out. The other one, NFC East coach.
It's not Sirianni, is it?
Danny Quinn.
Really?
Commanders, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Grade A coaches. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 grade A coaches. 9 that got an A.
Well, KFC's got to be one of them.
He's one of them.
How about Danny Campbell?
Danny Campbell is another one.
Shanahan.
No.
Really?
How is Shanahan not in there?
Maybe he's just not a nice guy.
Yeah.
Let's try Andy Reid.
Andy Reid's there.
I suppose we can't say Tomlin or Harbaugh anymore, can we? Or are they included in this?
Tomlin isn't included because of 2025.
I'm going to go back to Vrabel then.
Vrabel's in there. You mentioned him one time. NFC East.
Oh, Sirianni.
Sirianni's in it.
How about LaFleur?
No, he's not in that list.
Mike McDonald.
Yes, he is. He's a great singer, too, for the Doobie Brothers. And then...
Keep forgetting not in love anymore.
I love the way you do your falsetto. And another NFC North coach.
It's got to be your guy, Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson. Those are the ones that are included on that list.
Okay.
Grade A, the Panthers coach. How do you say his name? Dave Canales?
Sure.
I don't know. Brian Schottenheimer, D'Amico Ryans, Kellen Moore, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McDermott, did McDermott get hired? Did I just miss that? Because the numbers he put up with Buffalo, I know he never got to the big game, and I think that was part of the disappointment.
Yeah, he got fired.
Yeah, I know he got fired, but did he get rehired, or is he still?
I don't think so, no.
Looking for work.
I don't remember him.
Shane Steichen and Liam Cohen. B+ coaches, Jonathan Gannon and Raheem Morris. B, John Harbaugh only got a B. I wonder why that is. Does it say here? Doesn't. Says this is an interesting group because you have two coaches who were fired, McDaniel and Harbaugh. One coach who led his team to a conference title game, Sean Payton, and one coach who won his division in 3 of the past 4 years, Bowles. So there's some Todd Bowles, McDaniel, Payton, and Harbaugh all in the B grade.
Well, Peyton's just a Richard, let's be honest.
Yeah. The worst.
He's a smart football mind, but.
It says, here are the worst coaches. They're all lumped in. He says, we're just going to lump them all in together, he says. The final 6 coaches. B-, LaFleur, then Callahan, McCoy, because I guess McCoy took over for Callahan. I don't know. Raiders, Pete Carroll. Chargers, Jim Harbaugh. Mike Dable, Mike Kafka, and Browns coach Kevin Stefanski. And Stefanski, if you'll remember, weren't there those who thought the Vikings should have stuck with Stefanski when he left? I think that was a big... Because who did we... Do you remember? I can't remember.
That had been
was that
Zimmer.
Zimmer.
Yeah, he was the offensive coordinator for Zimmer.
Yeah. And I think there were people that thought we should have stuck with Stefanski.
Yeah.
And...
we were scared it was going to be like the Tomlin effect. Remember when Mike Tomlin was the D coordinator here?
Correct.
And we let him go and ended up winning a big game with Pittsburgh.
And it looks like it's official. Ahead of the 2026 season, CBS Sports' Jonathan Jones reports that the salary cap will be $301.2 million.
It's a lot.
Yeah, well, that's quite a... That's up from... What was it last year? It doesn't have what it was last year. Oh, it's an increase of more than $20 million from one season to the next. So it's
pretty amazing. The league that has the least amount of games by far has a salary cap that's more outrageous than everyone else.
Yeah. And like it says in the story, you can thank the NFL's lucrative TV rights deals with its broadcast partners for these huge upticks. The increase should only help teams who are up against cap crunch and will provide more ammo to teams who are already loading up the money cannon in anticipation of free agency. And, that's... I read somewhere, we talked about this too, about how, and I tend to agree with that. This is probably, maybe it's an oversimplification, but sort of, I think most organizations, you feel like you build the foundation of your team with your draft picks, but then, you supplement when you really feel like you need it with free agency. That's when you do it. And that's what the Purple tried to do last year when they got, and again, we saw it. It was the Seattle general manager. What the hell's his name? He was, I don't think he really said it like he was cocking off, because he even kind of, the way he even said, he goes,
John Schneider?
Yeah, Schneider said something to the effect of, well, I just got to be honest with you. I'm paraphrasing, but I said, we hit on all of our free agents, and they kind of did. And we looked at that list. We talked about this when I stumbled upon the story where they identified free agents. They contacted those free agents, agreed to a contract, and almost all of those guys performed at a level that helped the team get to the big game. Some guys, even played above and beyond what I think the team was expecting. And in the Vikings case, I think that was kind of a problem. We've talked about it. The interior of the defensive line and the interior of the offensive line is where they made their additions. And what was it? Center guy barely played. He had a couple more concussions, and the other 3 guys had their moments. One guy played all the time. Fries played, I think, every game, and he was all right. I don't think he graded out as one of the best at his position, but he played really well. And he was there. I mean, he was solid, and he was available. He played all the games, and the 2 guys in the defense that were supposed to supply some pass rush from in the middle really didn't. So if you don't hit on your draft picks, which we don't do,
no,
it's kind of amazing we've made the playoffs.
It's pretty stunning. Yeah, that's why I still have hope that Kevin O'Connell's a good coach, because I look at the actual player personnel, like other than Justin Jefferson, like where's the stars on this team?
Yeah.
It's pretty astonishing the defense has been as good as it is. Where's the stars on the defense?
Yeah. Well, and again, most of the credit goes to, and probably rightly so, goes to the coordinator and his scheme and what he does, And that's why, when we were talking earlier about, the quarterback position keeps coming. What should they do? Give it to McCarthy, let him try another year or two, bring in some competition, cut him. You got all these different options you can do. But I think when you look at that 5-game winning streak at the end of the season, and McCarthy was okay. And he didn't play the Detroit game, right? That was all
Max Brosmer. But let's face it, the defense was probably in large part the reason they were winning those games at the end of the season. What they did to Detroit, Detroit's offense wasn't as. They still ranked like number 5, I think, offensively in the league, but they didn't, when it came to like third down conversions and explosive plays, I don't think they were quite as, and their fourth down conversion rate was well below what it used to be in the past. But the Lions, the Vikings completely bottled them up in that game against Christmas Day game against the Lions. That defense, and I guess that's what gives people hope that if you get even competent quarterback play out of it, because that's what a lot of people want to continue to say is, won those last 5 games without even very good quarterback play, but that was due in large part to the defense too. But I don't know. I don't have the list of free agents in front of me. I don't know what defensive players are at risk of losing. I know they got to read. Every team's in the same position for the most part. You've got players that you're going to have to restructure. You're just going to have to, or else you just outright release them because they're making too much money. And most of these guys are willing to renegotiate, right? It seems like you don't see many guys that say, "Nope, not going to do it. Not going to let you put it into a signing bonus, and I'm not going to take a pay cut. I'm just going to leave." Most guys stick around, so they'll figure a way. Like T.J. Hawkinson, he has to figure out what's his value elsewhere if he was just to get bought out, right?
Correct,
and just released. Because he's not going to get $21 million here. So he's got to figure out a number that, hey, what number could I drop to that would give the team some cap space that I could stay here that would still be, a favorable contract to what I could get elsewhere and without losing all of it.
Yeah, no, that's I couldn't agree with you more. Well, I could agree with you more, but that's plenty right now. Was one other note I saw, and I want to know if you know anything about this kid. I got to see if I can scroll down and find the story. Don't go anywhere. It says it's a Fish Rock Factory West Side story. Boys hockey. Why Rogers High School's Jaden Kurtz is NFL draft material. Do you know anything about him?
No.
How many Minnesotans are playing in the National Hockey League?
Minnesotans?
It's got to be a fairly large number, right? What are we? We're the state of hockey. Blue line surrounds the state. Mob referee, cut the teeth in the penalty box, the whole thing. But he's considered, it says this story, said he is a top 100 hockey player in North America, according to NHL Central Scouting. Though I think Rogers got beat. They're not going to state. I think they got knocked out of in sectional play.
Yeah.
But
I don't have an exact number other than a year and a half ago, it was 41 players were on the NHL opening night roster.
Yeah.
AI overview says 41 to 67, but
41 to 67.
It just gives like a range.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a specific number.
And
obviously you have guys getting called up and sent down all the time, so it's hard to give you a concrete number.
Let me give you this last one. Leo's done playing hockey for the year.
Yes.
How's the rest of the family doing in hockey this weekend?
Oh yeah, the other two are still going for another week and a half.
Another week and a half.
Big one tomorrow. You know what we got tomorrow?
No.
Samson Molesky will go up against Grayson Gard in a big might matchup tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Both fathers will
I've
be there.
I've already told Samson to kind of rough him up a little bit.
Right.
They throw down the gloves.
Are you coaching that club?
I do coach that club, yeah.
Is Gard just is he involved with the team other than just a dad, or is he just?
He's a hockey dad.
Yeah, just hockey dad.
He won't even be there. He's got one of his 9 jobs to do.
You know what, JJ? Will there ever become a time where you say, "I just need to get away from all this because I'm missing all this"? You always hear those guys say, "I have to get away because I need to spend more family time." I'm missing all those great moments from the kids. This could be one of your kids' greatest moments ever.
Well, number one, I hope there's a live barn. Do we have a live barn?
Oh, we got a live barn.
Can I
Yeah,
stream it?
there's a live barn.
So I can stream it. Number two, if he wants to keep having his great moments, someone has to pay for those. I was talking to Deuce, and the way he goes, "Our dad was glad when we didn't play hockey. It's so expensive."
Yeah. Well, but
keep it to cross country.
Yeah, well, cross country's cheap.
Yeah, there's no cheaper sports than that.
That's what he told me.
But basketball, they told me that was cheap. Try AAU when you have trips to Atlanta, Las Vegas, Indianapolis, and Dallas. Oh, just throw in Denver, all in the same year.
You don't even know what town you're in.
No, you don't even know what city.
When was your flight to Atlanta? Was it during the show?
It never stops with you. That's one of the all-timers, yeah. You're up next with a big ticket. We'll see you, Timmy. Thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. People want to know when is Purple Prey starting?
2 weeks before the draft.
There you go. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday at 12 noon. Big ticket, JGR next year on The Fan.
Wherever you go. Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.